What's happening? World, surface, September 10th, 2016. We're on the eve of a historic event. And while we're on an eve of a historic event, we also have a historic event unfolding right in front of our eyes. And I sit back and I have to wonder, how are we supposed to remember 9/11 when we have a corporation out in North Dakota threatening our very existence with water? Not only threatening our very existence with water, but threatening the lives and the culture of the Native American nations. Since when are treaties allowed to be broken? How is it that an oil corporation can destroy burial grounds, sacred ground that was here long before their existence? Oh, but hey, let's everybody stop what they're doing for 9/11 so we can remember them. Now, can you imagine this? Can you imagine if bulldozers were taken over New York City and started to destroy that? Those memorials that are set in place to remember, to honor, to respect. Have we forgotten about those values? Have we undersold to a corporation? Is that what America is about? I have to question these things. And I hope that you do too. Because if you don't, it's our sacred burial grounds today. It's our water tomorrow. What's left after they've polluted the water? What's left? This has to stop. And it doesn't stop until we have to stop being ignorant to what's going on around us. Passive to what's going on around us. If it doesn't bother you, just keep going. As long as it doesn't happen to you, right? Let's not forget about Wounded Knee. In those day and times, couldn't do much about it. But not in 2016. We can do a whole lot about it. Every state should be paying attention to North Dakota. Every inhabitant of this land owes the dignity and respect to the Native American culture and its people and its reservations and its way of living, the way it's given life freely. Does a bird require oil? No. Does a rabbit require oil? No. Does a bear require oil? No. Do fish that swim in the lakes that feed our people, do they require oil? No. Now there are plenty of different energy alternatives and resources that are available. It is not necessary to pipeline oil. I understand there's rhetoric about, oh, it could be dangerous traveling down the railway. There could be a derailment with these tankers. Well, let's get off the dependency of oil to begin with. We have technology that's available that's been seized by the government that allows our vehicles to run on water. Where are they at? We know this technology has been here since 1980. Let me say that again, 1980. We are almost 40 years into this type of technology. We have solar technology. We have wind power. We have water hydro turbine power. What do we need black oil for? We don't. In fact, that black oil has done nothing but caused war and taken countless lives. Countless lives from the Indians, countless lives from the Negroes. And I don't say that to be disrespectful. I say that because that's what the Constitution calls them. 14th Amendment gives everybody the equal right to access of the law. So, okay, where is the equal access of the law? What gives this corporation the right to stop what they're doing, go 20 miles away from their project and start to destroy sacred burial grounds of a culture that was murdered at $2 a scalp for my great-grandfather's forehead? His name was Jesse. His mom had to give him up for adoption because of these racist laws. or barbaric, if you will, that comes straight from the Queen of England, comes from Europe. Now I say no more. Do you say no more? Or are we going to wait? We're going to wait till it's your grandkids that is affected. What are you going to do when the grandkids, the little grandbabies, got no water? What are you going to do? What are you going to do when we destroy this one and only Garden of Eden, this paradise, this kingdom of Elohim that's been given to us as caretakers? We're not doing it. We're not taking care of it. We're not taking care of the land. Instead, we're looking the other way, burying our heads in the sand. Well, that sand's going to be full of environmental damage. It's been proven. It's known. Flint can't drink the water because of lead. Detroit, see that? Detroit can't have the water because it's been privatized. What's going on in America today? Is America truly, is there no existence? Oh, but hey, let's remember 9/11. Let's remember what those terrorists did, right? Well, why are we remembering them? You've got 3,000 that died in New York. How many countless lives were lost in Iraq because of that inside operation? We know that these buildings fell at a free fall rate of speed. That was a controlled demolition, probably by the same companies that, oh, hey, imagine that. We went to Iraq for oil, and now they're in American soil for oil. And not only are they in American soil for oil, but they are now on Indian reservations. They are now trying to take jurisdiction of something that was given to us by our Creator. Water. We just need to kind of ease on up in there. And so then what happens when we start to leak millions and millions and billions of oil that nobody detects? Oh, hey, why should we worry about it, right? Because those pipes are good for 20 years at least. Right? Until an act of God, nature, disrupts the shelf plates that causes an earthquake that might make that pipe bust. And then who's going to get in there and clean it up? Got to do something here. Can't just sit idly by. Need to voice the opinion. We need to redress the grievances. That's our First Amendment right. Unless the Constitution's been suspended. And hey, if the Constitution has been suspended, please tell me right now. Put it in writing. National Defense Act? No. A war criminal created that. Under a false flag operation called Remember 9/11. When the towers fell. If you can still, 15 years later, honestly lie to yourself to convince yourself that it was terrorists? Really? Okay, fast forward. What are we doing in Afghanistan? Guarding the poppy fields with military. What's this nation's epidemic? Heroin. Does it really take 1 + 1 to equal 2? What else do we have? We have a lot. You need to start taking careful consideration with what's going on in your surroundings. Be more awake and more consciously aware. The power has been invested into people. 10th Amendment. Congress has the authority to regulate commerce. And they can call oil commerce. Or we can ban the use of oil because of the destruction of our environment. It doesn't change until we decide to step out of that comfortable box and get into that uncomfortable box and say no more. Respect the treaties, honor the treaties, respect the Constitution, uphold the Constitution, because that's what you swore to do. Or was it like this? I got my fingers crossed behind my back. Is that what happens every time somebody gets into office? Seriously. It's been known for 15 years now. Wake up. So tomorrow on 9/11, as we honor this horrific event that was put on by our own government, and not a government that our forefathers established, or maybe they did. Maybe Thomas Jefferson was in on it. Maybe Benjamin Franklin was in on it. Maybe Samuel Adams was in on it. Maybe they all knew what was going to happen in 200 years. Or maybe they didn't. Maybe they couldn't fathom a society today that would be so self-centered they walk past their neighbor. They would be so self-centered they look the other way when they witness crimes committed. It's become quite a joke. The police are out of control. They have permission to kill and ask questions later. Then, when they perjured themselves on police reports, he had his hands in his pockets. He was reaching for his cane. He put his car keys in his pocket. I thought he had a gun and I had to shoot him. Sorry, he's dead. That's a dictatorship. We're well above and beyond a normal way of living. Because a normal way of living is you're greeted with a smile, greeted with a handshake, common courtesy and respect. That's the normal way of living. Common courtesy and respect is you don't drive bulldozers over sacred burial grounds. Ancient. Ancient. So let's just keep buying gasoline. Let's just say, oh well. Can't happen. Tomorrow, stand with North Dakota. And understand that everything over the past 15 years has been over oil. And it's going to continue. Understand that it is our future. Understand water is a human right and must be protected at all costs. So, hopefully, anybody that chooses to put one of these on understands they need the water to live on too. They can't survive without that water. So ask yourself, while you're guarding that line in North Dakota, what are you really doing here? Who are you really serving? The people? The natural inhabitants of this land given to us by the Creator to live? Or corporate interests? Hope you pick the right side.